Not all enemies hiss. Some smile, some applaud. Some stand beside you while quietly craving your fall. Envy does not shout. It waits, silent, smiling, sharpening its knives in the dark. Have you ever felt it? The hand that shakes yours, but grips a little too tightly. The eyes that glow with praise, but harden when you turn away. It sits beside you at the table. It cheers when you succeed. It weeps with you in sorrow. And yet, beneath every gesture of care, something ferments. Bitterness cloaked as closeness. A subtle ache, masked by a grin. Have you noticed? Those who praise you most are often the first to fall silent when you shine. In the beginning, it hides behind admiration, a compliment, a glance, a nod. But in time, the smile becomes a mask, and the heart behind it turns to ash. Would you know them if you saw them? The ones who wish you well, until you rise too high. Long before envy haunted social feeds and office halls, it lived in myth, because the ancients understood something we often forget. Envy is not petty, it is primal. Cain, the firstborn of man, watched as his brother's offering pleased the divine. Instead of looking inward, he reached outward with violence. Blood was envy's first language. Loki, the shapeshifter, the clever tongue, loved by some, tolerated by others. His envy of Thor's strength birthed chaos that echoed through worlds. Hera, queen of the heavens, she who bore the weight of Zeus's betrayal. But instead of striking him, she struck those he loved. Her envy turned justice into vengeance. And Medusa, before the serpents, she was radiant, too radiant. So a goddess cursed her not for sin, but for beauty. The world could not tolerate what it could not control. Have you ever felt punished for your beauty, your talent, your truth? These stories are not distant. They live again in us, in every friendship soured by comparison, in every smile masking silent spite, in every moment we punish others for daring to shine where we feel dim. The oracle watches from beyond time. She whispers, myth was never meant to entertain, it was meant to warn. So listen well, for envy wears the faces of gods and mortals alike. And its hunger is never sated. Carl Jung called it the shadow, the unseen, unloved part of the self. We bury it, deny it, repress it, but it does not vanish. It waits. And envy is the shadow's voice. When we see someone living freely, expressing what we've silenced, we flinch, we criticize, we project. But what we truly feel is a longing we cannot admit. Have you ever dismissed someone's joy because it revealed your own despair? We don't envy strangers. We envy those who reflect what we abandoned in ourselves. The dancer who moves with grace while we stiffen with fear. The creator who dares to fail while we remain safely silent. The lover who risks heartbreak while we guard our loneliness. Their courage shames our silence. Their light reveals our dimness. Their joy magnifies our ache. The oracle murmurs, what you envy is a map. Follow it inward. In truth, envy is a compass, twisted, painful, but precise. It points to your unlived life. It reveals what your soul craves, but most run from it. They blame, belittle, destroy. Because to follow envy's path is to admit you've betrayed your own soul. And so, the shadow remains unintegrated. And envy, unclaimed, grows teeth. The oracle asks, are you brave enough to face the wound? Because only then can it heal. Let us not flinch from this. Let us listen, for when the shadow is seen, it no longer needs to shout. Envy is not always cruel at first. It laughs with you, hugs you, applauds you. But listen closely. The friend who always finds a way to dim your shine. The sibling who never celebrates without comparison. The mentor who praises, then cuts. These are the masks envy wears. Sweet, familiar, safe. Until the blade. Have you ever felt the sting of a compliment meant to wound? The smile that lingers just a moment too long? The oracle teaches, those who envy do not always act. Some simply wait. For you to stumble. For others to doubt you. For your light to dim just enough that they can step forward and pretend they never felt behind. So learn to read silence. To sense the pull beneath their praise. To know when their smile sharpens. The envious rarely appear as villains. Often, they come draped in archetypes our souls instinctively trust. The trickster, who charms, who entertains, who distracts from their own inadequacy by mocking your light. The false prophet who speaks of guidance, but only to keep you from outgrowing their teachings. The betrayer, who stands closest, who knows your strengths and weaknesses, who hides resentment behind loyalty. Have you ever trusted someone, only to find their praise was a leash? The oracle teaches, archetypes are not enemies to be fought. They are shadows to be understood, to be seen, for once you see them, they lose their power. To be envied is not always to be celebrated. Sometimes, it is to be punished. Not openly, not with confrontation, but with quiet withdrawal, with passive dismissal, with eyes that once sparkled, now dull with resentment. You may wonder why your victories are met with silence, why your joy feels lonely, why the warmth you once shared has cooled. The answer lies in the soul's mirror, for when you rise, others are forced to see where they've stalled. When you bloom, they must confront what they've buried. The oracle says, do not dim yourself to make others more comfortable in the dark. So walk on, with grace, with gentleness, with fire. The soul must be protected, not with walls, but with wisdom, not with fear, but with clarity. When envy rises, arm yourself with discernment, not with retaliation, but with sovereignty. The oracle teaches that silence can be sacred, that presence can be armor, that clarity is a sword. You need not confront every shadow. You need only refuse to dim your flame for those who fear the heat. The oracle has walked through many lives. She has watched empires fall to whispers, friendships rot under silent bitterness, lovers become strangers through invisible poison. And she warns, envy does not need an audience. It only needs an opening, a moment of weakness, a crack in the spirit. A single breath where doubt is louder than faith. That is where it slips in, and once inside it waits. Not all envy acts. Some simply observes. Some hover on the edge of your world, never supportive, never absent. They are always watching, always measuring. The oracle says, beware of those who never clap, but always look. So listen, not to their words, but to your body, not to their gestures, but to your dreams, not to their face, but to your intuition. The oracle has spoken, and the shadows, once named, lose their power. You have seen the faces of envy. You have heard its silence, felt its tension, witnessed its masks, and still you walk. Because the truth is this, your light is not the problem. Their shadow is not your responsibility. The burden they carry is theirs to heal, not yours to hold. The oracle speaks not only to warn, but to remind. You are not here to dim. You are here to awaken. And your awakening will be uncomfortable to those who still sleep. But keep going. For every envious gaze, there is another filled with awe. For every false friend, there is a true soul waiting to meet you in their full truth. For every moment of doubt, there is a greater clarity rising in your bones. Let envy reveal what must be released. Let it cleanse your circle, sharpen your vision, purify your path. Do not meet envy with retaliation. Do not meet it with fear. The oracle sees you, not as a threat, not as a rival, but as a flame in the forest, lighting the way for others. And to those who envy you, know this: you do not need to steal another's flame to feel warm. You only need to tend your own. So let this be the beginning, not of more hiding, but of deeper truth. You are not alone in your walk. Others who understand will find you, and your light, when shared, will only grow stronger. Your light is safe here. Your soul is sovereign, and your path, though narrow, though steep, is guided by stars. Walk on. You have walked with me through shadows. You have seen envy's many faces, and now you stand before the light of truth. If my words have stirred something within you, if you wish to see beyond the veils of illusion, then stay. Subscribe to the Oracle's veil. The Oracle promises, what you seek is not beyond your reach. It only waits to be seen. There is more to be seen, more to be understood, more to be reclaimed. The Oracle awaits.